OpenAI just stood up in front of the whole tech industry and said, "We're totally fine." And nobody has ever sounded less fine in the history of being fine. This week, OpenAI launched GPT-5.6, and in the same breath, they announced it's now the preferred model for Microsoft 365 Copilot. Preferred, like a golden retriever telling you it's your favorite dog, while the cat is sitting right there with its own house key, watching, because here's the thing nobody's saying out loud. Days before this launch, Bloomberg dropped a report that Microsoft has been quietly swapping OpenAI's models out of Word and Excel, replacing them with its own in-house models, Codem AI. So OpenAI didn't just launch a new model this week. They launched a new model as a hostage video. Smile for the camera, say you're happy, say the partnership is strong. Don't look at the guy behind you holding the cue cards. Let's get into it. Strip away the corporate theater for a second, because there is an actual product here. GPT 5.6 isn't one model, it's three. OpenAI is calling them Sol, Terra, and Luna. Sol is the heavyweight built for the hardest reasoning tasks. Terra is the middle child, balanced for everyday work. And Luna is the fast, cheap option you use when you just need an answer and don't need it to be Shakespeare. Think of it like ordering coffee. Sol is the triple shot espresso that makes your hands shake. Terra is your regular flat white. Luna is decaf, but somehow still charges you full price. OpenAI's pitch is efficiency. More intelligence per token. Better performance per dollar. Translation, watching. The model got smarter without OpenAI's cloud bill turning into a house fire. And this new model family didn't just land quietly in ChatGPT. Watching landed the same day inside Microsoft 365 Copilot Word, Excel, PowerPoint Copilot Chat, and Copilot Cowork. Watching, which is Microsoft's new describe the outcome, I'll do the work agent feature. Same day rollout. That's fast. Suspiciously fast. Watching. Like when your partner suddenly starts cooking you dinner every night, and you have to ask yourself what you're about to find out. Where it gets funny. OpenAI called GPT 5.6 the preferred model for Copilot. Not the default model, not the exclusive model, not the only model, preferred. Nobody, and I mean nobody, has explained what that word actually means in practice. Not OpenAI, not Microsoft. Reporters straight up asked and got vague nodding in response. It's the corporate equivalent of your ex saying, "We're still close." Close doing what? Exactly? Close like you talk every day, or close like you liked one Instagram story from 2023? Because technically, nothing Bloomberg reported was ever denied. Microsoft never said it would stop using OpenAI models. It just said it's leaning harder on its own AI models where the economics make sense, which is a very polite way of saying, we found a cheaper option and we like it. So both things can be true at the exact same time. GPT 5.6 gets to wear the preferred crown while Microsoft's homegrown models quietly eat more and more of the actual workload behind the curtain. It's like being the favorite child while your sibling slowly takes over the family business. And the one number that would settle this entire debate. The actual traffic split between GPT 5.6 and AI inside Copilot, that's the one number neither company will hand over. Convenient. The part that should make Copilot users genuinely annoyed. Even after Microsoft rolled out GPT 5.6 into Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, they didn't actually call it GPT 5.6 in the interface. Instead of labeling it Sol, Terra, or Luna like OpenAI does, Microsoft slapped on its own mystery box names. Options like Quick Response and Think Deeper. So if you're a Copilot user trying to figure out which model you're actually using, good luck. Best guess floating around is that Quick Response maps to either Luna or Terra, and Think Deeper is hopefully Sol, the flagship. Hopefully, nobody's confirmed it. It's like ordering a mystery box meal at a restaurant, eating it, and then the waiter refusing to tell you if you just ate chicken or a very convincing tofu. You're paying for a specific model. You're being told it's the preferred one. And then Microsoft hides the label like it's a state secret. If GPT 5.6 gives you a beautifully polished PowerPoint deck, congratulations, you have no idea which brain actually made it. let's talk about the week this actually happened in, because the timing here is almost cinematic. This GPT 5.6 launch didn't happen in a vacuum. It landed the same week Fiji Simo, the executive OpenAI brought in to run its entire consumer and product operation, stepped down, citing a chronic illness. So picture the scene inside OpenAI. Leadership shake up on one side. A major partner quietly building an escape hatch on the other side. And smack in the middle of both of those fires, someone in the marketing department goes, "Hey, perfect time to launch a new model and remind everyone the Microsoft relationship is great." It's the tech industry version of posting a beach vacation photo the same week you got dumped. Nothing says everything is fine louder than aggressively announcing that everything is fine. And analysts aren't buying the coincidence either. The read across the industry is pretty consistent. This wasn't just a product launch. It was a defensive move wearing a product launch as a costume. Might be thinking, why would Microsoft bother building its own models at all when OpenAI is right there, ready to go? Simple money. Microsoft has poured billions of dollars into OpenAI, Copilot, across Windows, across Microsoft 365, across Azure, has leaned on OpenAI's models to function since day one. That's an enormous, ongoing bill. Meanwhile, Microsoft's own AI research arm has been quietly leveling up, building out its AI family across coding, image generation, transcription, voice. Microsoft has openly framed this as a push toward long-term self-sufficiency. Translation: Microsoft would very much like to stop paying rent on somebody else's brain. And it's not just MAI either. Microsoft has reportedly tested using other providers' models inside Copilot for certain tasks too, on top of hosting a whole buffet of outside models in its own data centers. Meta's models, Mistral's models, sitting right there next to OpenAI. So when OpenAI says preferred, what they're really doing is standing in a crowded room full of Microsoft's other options, waving their hand and going, "Pick me, pick me." Preferred isn't dominance. Preferred is just still invited to the party. Okay, sarcasm aside for a second, because there's a real practical takeaway buried in all this corporate chat. If you use Microsoft 365 Copilot Cowork, the GPT 5.6 rollout genuinely does bring upgrades. Word drafts should need fewer rounds of back and forth prompting to feel finished. Excel should handle deeper, more complex analysis without burning through your usage more aggressively. PowerPoint decks should come out with better visual balance instead of looking like a ransom note built in 5 minutes. And Copilot Cowork, Microsoft's more autonomous, go handle this whole task for me feature, is supposed to get noticeably better at carrying multi-step work from instruction to a finished, usable result. Less babysitting, more actual delivery. But the rollout isn't universal on day one. Microsoft has been upfront that availability depends on your region and your organization's specific setup. So if you open Copilot today and don't see GPT 5.6 anywhere, it's not broken. It just hasn't reached you yet. The bigger lesson here, though, has nothing to do with fancier PowerPoint slides. It's this: two massive AI companies can keep smiling for the cameras together while quietly building separate escape plans in the background. Partnership and competition aren't opposites anymore. They're roommates. So here's where we land. OpenAI launched a genuinely solid model family this week. Sol, Terra, and Luna are real technical upgrades, and Copilot users will feel the difference. But the headline everyone's actually talking about isn't the model. It's the word preferred. A word so carefully vague that it lets OpenAI claim the win while Microsoft keeps building its own replacement quietly in the background. Nobody's lying here. That's the wild part. Every sentence in every press release is technically true. It's just that technically true and the actual full story have never lived further apart than they do right now. Keep an eye on this one, because the moment either company slips up and reveals the real traffic split between GPT 5.6 and AI, that's the moment we find out whose preference actually matters. If you want to stay ahead of every twist in the OpenAI Microsoft saga before it hits the headlines, subscribe to Neuropulse AI. We'll see you in the next one.